Hi, my name is Scott Johnston, Director of Operations for Resources in South Fraser. I'm here today to talk to you about the role of a social worker in the fostering sector. Some people know from a young age that they love helping others. They may start out volunteering and go on to complete a social work degree. You can meet social workers in a variety of settings, such as hospitals, mental health and substance use treatment centers, schools, elder care, and a wide variety of community social services, especially services for children, youth, and their families. Social workers engage with people through a variety of programs and services. Social workers' focus is to help and support community members, whether individuals or families. Working in collaboration with individuals and families, social workers identify what's needed and help access the system of supports. This process of working in partnership to develop plans, identify goals, support change, and resolve issues results in many positive outcomes. There are many social workers in MCFD who help children and youth, family members, and caregivers of all kinds. Some social workers in MCFD have specific roles that are linked to the legislation responsible for the safety of children and youth in British Columbia. These include child safety workers, family service workers, guardianship workers, resource workers, and permanency and adoption workers. You might be surprised to hear that a passion for social work sometimes runs in the family. There are many MCFD social workers who have followed in their parents' footsteps. Some MCFD social workers have also been in foster care themselves, so they have insight into the support and understanding that children and youth and families need. Many of MCFD's leaders are social workers who have spent their career helping children and families. The backbone of the in-care system is the foster parent network. MCFD's social work staff is responsible for ensuring that there are adequate numbers of well-supported, skilled caregivers to meet the needs of children and youth in the foster care system. Recruitment and retention of foster parents are both very important to MCFD. Part of the big picture is to encourage and motivate people to become foster parents and to ensure that foster parents are supported by the care team, external services, as well as internally by MCFD resource workers. Ministry resource workers focus on relationships. They build relationships with foster parents and ensure they have the supports and resources they need to care for the children in their homes. The resource worker is an important support for foster parents. Resource workers build strong relationships and establish trust with foster parents. Strong relationships ensure that resource workers understand what a foster parent's needs are, the level of service they provide to a child in their home, and the current members of the household. This is important because understanding of foster parents' needs will lead to success for the children placed in their home. Investing in the relationship between resource worker and foster parent supports the necessity of frank conversations. Resource workers expect to visit a foster home at least every 90 days to check in and find out about any changes in the home. They are also available by phone and are able to attend meetings or provide support whenever needed. The resource worker conducts an annual review with each foster home. This involves a series of questions, and they document any significant changes, additional needs, or environmental considerations. This also provides an opportunity to update the foster parent's learning and training plans for the upcoming year. The payment related to the level of care that the foster parent is providing is assessed by the resource worker. It's the worker's job to ensure that the foster parent is compensated adequately in alignment with MCFD's foster care payments. Resource workers will meet regularly to discuss current placements and planning for children potentially coming into care. They may also be responsible for addressing placement requests, changes, and emergency needs in the foster home. Resource workers may also be responsible for engaging with community, facilitating information sessions about fostering, and arranging for the home study of potential foster parents. Typically, resource workers have a very busy schedule. Some arrive early in the office to check email and phone messages, making note of anything that needs immediate action. They review after hours for overnight activity in any of their foster homes in case they need to follow up with something. In spite of a packed schedule, resource workers always keep in mind that they may have to make room for the unexpected. Throughout the day, resource workers attend meetings with their team members and foster parents, make notes, answer emails, and return phone calls, squeeze in unscheduled conversations, and respond to urgent situations. They schedule new meetings and foster home visits. They approve expense reimbursements and create new fostering contracts, among many other things. Resource workers are a special group at the ministry who focus on supporting and increasing our fostering community to meet the needs of children and youth in the foster care system. Let's also have a look at what their colleagues focus on. The primary focus of social workers who have children on their caseload is the welfare of the child or youth in foster care. The priority and focus for all children and youth in care is reunification with family. For some children and youth, this may take quite some time or ultimately may not be achievable. If reunification isn't possible, the guardianship worker and care team must create a permanency plan that includes either adoption or permanent home with other family or community members. Though permanency is the goal, sometimes children and youth stay in foster care for a long time. Skilled and loving foster parents provide an enriching environment where foster children and youth may become a permanent part of the family. Whether foster care is long-term or the child will move on to another placement, the child social worker and foster parents must work collaboratively. The foster parent should be included in the care team's deliberations so that every child or youth's care plan incorporates the insights of their day-to-day caregiver. The child's worker should regularly contact the foster parent so that information is always shared in a timely way. It's best to discuss in advance any changes to the care plan so that there are no surprises to the foster parent who must implement the plan. It's very important that the foster parent and child are developing a strong bond and that children are integrated into the family dynamic. Considering this, foster parents should always be engaged in transition planning so they can provide critical emotional support to the child or youth. Social workers who focus on planning for the children and youth in care are no less busy than resource workers. Though their main focus is on the well-being of children and youth in foster care placements, they also coordinate planning for each child's future. As you can imagine, this is a lot of responsibility. As a foster parent, you can help with planning by discussing day-to-day care needs, relationships, developmental milestones, and general well-being of the children and youth you care for. Throughout your career as a foster parent, you will undoubtedly work in partnership with many social workers. Everyone on the team shares the same goal: to ensure that the foster children and youth in your home receive the best care possible. Working together with foster parents, social workers do their best to address challenges of all types, to work towards solutions, and focus on the best interests of the children and youth in foster care.